what's going on, guys? Here for Super Playaz, we have Mario Cardona, who got 11th place in this past weekend's PPG Online Regional with none other than Mechikabura. So, why this leader, Mario, in general? What kind of drew you to play this for this event?
So, one for me, I always like rogue decks, and believe it or not, this is pretty rogue, but against other rogue, he's very oppressive. And not just that, but this leader itself in his archetype, it just says, if you arrival or play things on my turn, I'm just gonna tax you by taking control of it.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So this leader has a unique function. Matter of fact, I'll go over it right now. So, fun fact, this is a callback to Wish Leader. On attack, I search out 2 Dark Dragon Balls. One of his permanents is I can have up to 7 Dark Dragon Balls. So right here, attack, I can search out either my life or deck and I can get up to 2 Dark Dragon Balls.
Okay.
So, basically what we play are 3 Yearning for Youth and 4 Dark Empire Strikes Back. So Yearning for Youth, basically what it does is activate main. My opponent chooses one of their 1 costs and warps it, or I can use activate battle and just give any of my cards 5k. And then this is the key card right here, Dark Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, that one's huge. That's annoying, man.
Yeah.
Annoying.
It's really frustrating. If nobody's prepared to play this deck and they don't play around what the main mechanic does, then it's gonna frustrate people a lot. So basically, if my leader is Mechikabura and it has Wish, which it is on the front side, it reduces itself by 1, and then you use this, you either ditch a Dark Dragon Ball, a Demon God, or Demon Realm Wraith, and you draw 2 cards. That's it.
Yeah. Helps you filter and gets rid of your opponent's drop. That's amazing.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, excuse me. Have another effect. When I use it, my opponent chooses 1 battle card in their drop, and they just send it to the warp.
Yep. So that's how you're gonna awaken. Okay, cool. We got that. We got the 4/3 package. That seems right.
Yeah, and then on Wish, right here, he's all young, and you have the Dark Shenron right here. So pretty standard. He acts more like a generic leader than a Wish leader, but on attack you draw 1, and then you have the activate main, 2 of them, and they both require the same cost. You put 1 card in your hand, and you just bottom it under your deck. First one, if you take control of one of your opponent's battle cards, cost of 4 or less, and you just take control of it. Its skills are negated for the game, but it's yours for however long it lasts.
Yes.
And then he actually has an ultimate, which is like a call back to
Shenron removing the Dragon Balls. Huh?
Yeah, so you remove these 7 from the game, and then again, you also have to bottom card from your hand, and he basically gets to attack 3 times. Yep. The cool thing is his auto, the attack draw, is not a once per turn. So the first attack, you gain back the card that you lost, and then you're just plussing 2.
And you're applying a lot of pressure during that turn.
So you always want to call your shots when you use it, because there's certain cards that actually require you to have the Dark Dragon Balls on board. So you just don't always want to shotgun it right away.
Yeah, because all your battle cards actually require you to have, was it like 2 of them in there? Or...
Yeah, 2 of them.
Yeah, so yeah, you're definitely doing that on your turn ending. Okay, awesome. He also does a cool thing when he awakens too, Hun's unique to other leaders.
Oh yeah, sorry. His Wish, before I forget, you untap 1, draw 1, and then again your opponent chooses 1 battle card in their drop.
Yeah,
and
so they're playing without a drop for a majority of the game.
Yeah, for the most part, you lock them out of overround for the most part.
Yeah, that too.
And then if certain decks,
there's a lot of decks that require things in the drop, right? Like,
yeah. Wink, wink. We're talking to you, Self Surge. If you combo out mindlessly, I'm just gonna warp your drop. And actually happened. I played a Self Surge, and he protected a 1-drop Gohan, and he comboed a Bardock draw 8 and a Ribrianne, and I opened up with one of these, and I attacked, gained another one of these, so I just saved it, and I warped both of them, and it just stopped his second.
Yeah, this deck does very, very well against Cell Surge. Very, very well. So okay, cool. So let's so that's the whole awakening package. I'll put this right here. So now let's just get into the main portion of the deck. Start with what are we starting with?
I want to start with the extra cards.
Okay, sounds good. Let's see what we got.
So tech card is Petrification.
Yes.
So if you guys don't know, if my leader is black, blah blah blah, I negate the attack. Then it has the following effect where I can pitch a card from my hand and I choose one of their battle cards, ignoring barrier. They can't attack, it can't be comboed, and they can't activate effects. And you know,
that's huge.
yeah, it's really good. There was a few times where I was playing a deck where it doesn't have really anything where I can stop, where I just used it, pitched the card, picked another card, and I just stopped 2 attacks for 1 energy. So it's very useful. It's damn good.
Cool.
So there's that. The other extra card are 3 power bursts. You guys should know what this is, and this is a wish leader. I built my drop really fast, so by turn 2, it's always going to be active.
Yep, it's huge. That's huge.
So it's really good.
Okay, so those are the extra cards in the deck.
Yeah.
And then we chose not to run the Darkness Judgment.
Yeah, so the format got a lot slower. It's like, I really want to run that. Like, the game is based on like a BO3 format. It just, our regionals are BO1, so it's like, I would normally mainboard that. But, you know, for this format, I thought about it, like, I really want it, but there's other cards I want to include, and, you know.
There's not as many decks that go wide with, like, 15k in this format.
And the fact that I have to run, like, 7 Dark Dragon Balls, it makes my my deck kind of tight on space, so it's like...
Got you.
I couldn't have it. I couldn't have it. So let me run a few tech cards before I get into the staples. So Champa, set 1, forever winning you games. So I ran this at 1 thinking that it will help me if somebody ever like dumped on me and whatnot. Sadly, throughout my games I never really needed it. Like for the most part, I actually just overwhelmed after I used my ultimate, and then got 3 cards back, attack with a 30k, and then it's set up for my next key card the following turn.
That's the game. That's the turn ender right there.
Yeah, so actually he wasn't bad, just to apply pressure, get cards back, and then either defend or the next turn.
Yeah.
Just waste like 3 cards, and there we go. So it's like, you know, as much as I was hoping that someone would just dump and, you know, use it, you know, they expend their hand. It never got there, but, you know, go right here.
Awesome.
Dual attack, pretty simple. I played this because I stay at high life, and then with this leader, his archetype, his package, it's mostly battle for control of the board. So it's like, sometimes I just need a attack, take a life, and then certain decks that just play things with a skill.
Yeah, got you. Has a lot of good matchups for you.
This against my red matchup, you know, counterplay, draw a card, neither player can attack with 2 or less until the end of my turn.
Great against Piccolo Jr.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't see it, so honestly, when someone played something, I just played it, drew a card, comboed it out, and just get value that way. So it's never really dead. So if you have the energy to flex, go for it.
Nice.
And then Jiren, Survival of the Fittest, he's in response to turning the tide.
Yeah.
And the deck draws a lot, so he's a 1-of. So like, if my opponent were to get a 7 energies, I should have him, unless he's the last card in my life.
Yeah, I feel like this deck probably wins before 7, but at the same time, I think it's definitely to be in there in case it does go late.
Yeah. If it gets there,
yeah, 100%. You got the answer.
He's my safety net. Secret rare, Kai.
Best secret rare in the game.
Yeah, best secret rare. Like, this deck could run almost any of the black secret rares. There's like...
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Kai.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
He helps you in the blue matchup as well.
So let's go some staples. Mechikabura, Ritual at hand. 1 drop, on play, draw 1. He has the act main. Basically, I pay 1 black energy, I look top 7, and I get a Toa, Shroom, or Salta 15k or less with 4 energy. And he is really good, especially after I use my ultimate. I'll get more about that later.
Okay.
I have my Putine, Ritual at hand. She acts like a Topo, but...
The Floodgate?
Yeah. But she does something, I think it's a little bit better than Topo. She's only, you can only use her with this leader. So basically, pay 2 energy, you play her out, you negate the attack, and then it's her auto. When she's played, I may put 1 card from my hand, bottom of the deck, and then in order for them to apply pressure, they have to warp 2 cards from hand. So
Gotcha.
again, so if they counter, I don't have to.
Yeah, you're not required to pitch the card.
Yeah, if
Gotcha.
she gets negated, I don't have to pitch the card.
Yeah, she's a great card.
So I have a 3-1 split on my super combos.
Okay.
She is a Sparking 5 super combo.
Gotcha.
Again, by turn 2, she is live, and my leader, he can stay at high health. So it's just like,
Yeah,
it's
why
really
not?
nifty. And then I play this at 1 is because I find myself at high health, but on those turns where I actually just overwhelm, he becomes my actual hitter. I still get the 10k, but I don't get to draw him.
Yeah, so
I
once
get
you
both.
overrun to the ultimate, he still gets you that draw and everything. It's still the best generic black super combo.
Yeah. I play 1 Broken Seal. So you guys know, I call the cost, I call the name, and and it stops them from playing it until the end of their turn. I actually use this card twice. Once on a mono blue Soul Striker, I called the Great Baby 8 because I actually wanted to play this. I don't know if he had it or not. I just needed to get this go through and just, all right, end your turn, and I just won the following turn. And then I played it against the Android 16. I just looked at it, how much energy it had. I looked what card of the energy, which one will most likely rival, and I just called that. So it kind of saved my ass.
Yeah, it's an amazing card.
Okay. 2 of these Time Labyrinths. So it's a negate, and then on play, I get to warp 1 battle card
Yeah, that's
on the
amazing.
board.
Especially because you can get over the secret rares with them too. That's great.
Yeah, there's just a cost in order to play or a prerequisite. You or your opponent has to have 3 or more cards in the warp. As you can see, just warping their cards from their drop. So it's like you're always gonna meet these conditions. So it's a 2-for-1 right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Next are my Doboro's Ritual at Hand. So this helps out for hand destruction matchup. So if this gets discarded by your opponent's skill, you pay an you ditch it, then you pay an energy, you play it, and then on play you draw 2 cards.
Yeah,
So
anti-cell surge, there it is.
yeah, so I played Self Surge, and I opened with 1, and then my Dragon Balls drew me another one, and then on his turn 3 he discarded 2 cards. I'm like, there you go, and I drew 4. And
yeah, the cool thing about using it in this deck as well is that it doesn't do anything to it, right? Because it's Demon Realm race, so you can also ditch it with your Dragon Balls.
yeah, basically against any other matchup, I either charge it, or if I had a Dragon Ball, I ditch this and I just draw 2 cards. So he did not get in way of the package, which is why I loved him. Normally he'd be a sideboard card, but BO1, main that.
BO1.
Okay, let's go to our ritual at hand. This is Shroom. So he's a 4-cost 15k, but you actually get to cheat him out. He's activate main. When I have 2 or more Dark Dragon Balls in my drop, I can play them, and then I can send 2 more Dark Dragon Balls from my deck to the drop, which is amazing. And him, when your opponent has 2 or more energy, on attack, I get to warp 1 of their battle cards 3 or less, and then your opponent chooses 1 battle card in their drop, sends it to the warp.
Nice.
So he's amazing just for board clear or whatnot. Just 15k warp, battle, and drop. So he's really nice and annoying. Next one, the queen of the deck, Toa, Ritual at Hand. What I like, same thing. Activate, pay 1 black energy, send 2 Dark Dragon Balls to the drop, whatnot. So on play, she makes your opponent warp 1 card in their hand, then they draw 1, and then also you pick 1 of their battle cards and just warp it. There's no cost restriction to what you warp. As long as they don't have barrier, you just clear it.
Yeah, this deck has amazing removal.
Amazing removal, which is why I wanted to play it. And also, she doesn't just stand there and look pretty, she's a blocker, so she can take 1 in the face for you. Okay, the heart and soul of the deck is Salsa.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Is Salsa spice? Hell yeah, it is.
Salsa spice, there you go.
There we go. Salsa is literally spice. So Same thing as the other ones, you know, pay 1 energy, you can drop 2 Dragon Balls in your deck to the drop. So it's like these three, they just help you wish as soon as possible.
Okay.
So he has 2 autos. His first auto is a on play. Your opponent warps 1 card from their hand and they draw 1, which is nice. And then his second auto is on attack. So the thing about him is when you attack with him, his on attack auto prevents you from using autos of copies of this card for the rest of the turn. But your opponent chooses one of their battle cards in their drop, warps it, and then you draw 1 card.
Okay, so that's like the draw power for the deck.
Yeah, so to me, this guy was basically my Minesweeper. So basically, whenever I got the chance, I always attacked with this first.
Yeah.
If they did like a Topo or Floodgate, whatever, I already drew for a turn, you know, I didn't need to attack. And I just draw. But if they didn't Floodgate me on this,
yeah,
I sent all 7 Dragon Balls.
Well, yeah, it seems like if this card sticks on the board, that like it's hard for your opponent to really do anything to you.
Yeah, so the turn you play it out, if you think of a value system, you attack, you draw. It basically replaces itself. Every turn that it stays, I'm plussing 2.
And the cool thing about that is you can bring it out on turn 1, unlike Shroom where your opponent needs 2 energy. This guy could come out on turn 1 potentially if you go second and attack. That's cool. That's cool.
He's amazing.
Okay.
I love calling him my Minesweeper because, you know, all those floodgates.
Yep.
I played 2 Kingdom Lost, King Vegeta. This card was so good. Why am I playing it at 2? Like everything else at like 3 or 4? Well, you always see him. This deck draws a lot. And he's unique. But yes, I always seen him. So like when 1 died, I played the other then next turn. So he's 19k, double strike, cost of 6, but he has an activate main that cheats him out. When my opponent has 3 or more cards in the warp, thanks to my ritual hand, you'll always have it. He comes on play, and then his on play could do one of 2 things. You either warp a battle card on board, or you can warp 1 card from their hand. And you know, this card is either, you know, playing him out, you always have something to do.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And he also has a barrier and he's hard to get over.
Yeah, barrier, double strike, unique. I wish he didn't have unique, but he's unique. So he has another effect that happens on your opponent's turn. If once per turn, when my opponent attacks my leader and he's in rest mode, they have to warp a card. So people are always gunning for this guy. So it always becomes a battle for board state.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, this guy, Dark Mask King. I honestly never got to play him at all. I just comboed him out, but I'm glad that I had him though. You essentially pay 4 energy to play him out. He's triple strike, and if your opponent uses a counter on him, you basically get to burn a life, warp a life to be exact. And then if your opponent has 10 or more cards in the warp, he restands. So he's always he would be my go-to, like just...
Yeah, he's great against blue as well. Yeah.
Really great. I never got to use him, but if I didn't end games when I did, I always wanted to just follow up the next turn with this and end things. I probably would change this to 1 and put something else because I always saw it, but again, I'm glad to have him even though I never got to use him.
Yeah.
And then the big boss of the deck, 1 Dark King Mechikabura, power restore.
The big guy.
I only play him as a 1-of, but like within 7 matches, I played him like 4 times. And again, the deck filters a lot. The hand size depends on how well you play it, but you can see how this deck gains a lot of value early on. It's just maintaining that. So you pay 4 energy. He has deflect, double strike, and then on play, he basically warps your entire opponent's board, assuming they don't have barrier. Then you choose 2 of their battle cards, different names in their warp, and you play them on your side of the board where their skills negated.
Yeah, he does a lot. He does a lot for 4 energy.
Yeah, so it's like, in a way, he's his own SCR.
Yeah, pretty much. You treat it like another SCR on your deck. Yeah.
Yeah, like, this guy won me games and just, he's amazing, honestly.
Okay.
I probably would play this at 2 or 1. I don't know, you guys figure out how you want to mix and match, but you do want 1 and 1.
Okay.
That's essentially the deck.
Yeah, you did very well, man, over this weekend.
Yeah, I went X11 on PPG. I lost to, I think his name is Dane Rothenbach, Reichbach, something like that. He got second place with Golden Frieza, and then I drew once to a guy named Andrew Bowen. And yeah, that went to a draw. It was pretty grindy.
Yeah, so this deck has pretty good matchups then across the board, huh?
Yeah, if people aren't prepared for it or don't know how to play around it, then it's just extremely oppressive.
Yeah, I can tell, man. That deck does damage. I played against it myself,
Yeah.
so
I even thought about playing Koitsukai, but I'm like, no, I want them to rival.
Even more hate?
Yeah, I wanted them to rival and just take control, and like, yeah, it was great. And most of all, it was fun.
Hey, that's if you can have fun while you're winning, that's even better.
Yeah, so if you know me, I only play things that are really fun, and this guy, he fit the bill and he got me there. So
shoot, man. Well, again, congratulations. Thank you for letting us get this deck profile. And I mean, as we always say, man, stay
Supah.